In the morning, Dame Cressida Dick gave every impression that she was fully confident that she had the respect and indeed the confidence of the Mayor of London. Clearly, things changed.
Yeah, well, firstly, may I just pay tribute to the 40 years public service that Dame Cressida Dick has given to the people of London and to the UK as a whole. It's been exceptionally difficult circumstances, but of course she was the first woman to hold the role. She's done some amazing work in broadening the diversity of the Met and making it more representative of the people of London and the people that the Met serves. I'd just like to pay tribute to that at the outset. Clearly, however, there have been a number of issues that have happened on her watch that have caused great concern for people of London, of course, the UK as a whole, and those will very much need to be addressed. I think it's a little bit of a shame that things have happened the way that they have. It appears that clearly the relationship has broken down between the Mayor and of course, Dame Cressida. And that is a shame. But I think what we've got to do now is to focus on the future and to start to address all of the issues that will cause the people of London concern.
So what happens now as regards the post of Commissioner? As I understand it, Dame Cressida will remain in post in the interim, but we need to get the job sorted as soon as possible, don't we? When might that happen?
So there are processes in place that will be followed, and they're well established. The Home Secretary makes a recommendation to Her Majesty the Queen, and that will be taking place over the course of the next few days and weeks. I'm sure that everybody involved will be very aware of the importance of getting this critical role filled as soon as possible.
Indeed, and not least because, of course, the Metropolitan Police are currently investigating the government. I mean, what does this mean for the state of the investigation into the Downing Street parties?
So the police are very used to handling matters where there are different parties involved. They're totally independent. I have absolute confidence in their ability to operationally carry out an investigation. They will do that. They'll do that in a way that is independent, and that will not be affected by the role at the top of the Met.
Sure. Given what we have seen over the past 24, 48 hours as regards Cressida Dick and her position, is now not the time for the Mayor of London, the person in charge of the city, to have complete control over who is the city's most senior police officer?
So there's a quite well-established procedure here because it's such an important role because the Met, of course, have roles beyond just London. They also have roles that touch national security as well. So it's right that the Home Office also has its level of involvement as well. So the Home Secretary clearly has some key interests here for the whole of the UK. But yes, that relationship with the Mayor is clearly key between the Mayor and the Chief Police Officer within the city, within London itself. That's a key relationship. It's always important, that is, but the structures have been well thought out and are well practiced. And we have been through this, of course, before in replacing Met commissioners in due course.
Yeah, well, indeed. I mean, when the Prime Minister was Mayor of London, he got rid of Sir Ian Blair. I suppose the question is in all of this, though, if Priti Patel had had her way, Cressida Dick would still be Metropolitan Police Commissioner, well, all the way until the end of the additional 2 years that the Home Secretary signed off on.
Well, as I say, I think it's a bit of a shame that the relationship has broken down between the Mayor and Dame Cressida Dick in the way that it has, because it clearly is now an issue that has to be resolved on top of all the other many challenges that the Met has, because it's absolutely unacceptable that there is any suggestion of any racism or homophobia or anything that detracts from public confidence in the Met. So that is something else that will have to be dealt with. On top of that, that's regrettable, but we are where we are, and I think we need to look forward to the future.
So, sorry to pick you up on it, but it is a phrase you've used a couple of times in the interview. In what way is it a bit of a shame that the relationship between the Mayor and the Police Commissioner broke down?
Well, clearly it's a key relationship, isn't it, between the Mayor and the Mayor's Chief Police Officer. It would be better if that had been handled in a way that meant that the relationship hadn't broken down, but it clearly has. Both parties have said that. So I'm just acknowledging the fact that that relationship has broken down, which is regrettable. But as I say, we are where we are, and we need to look to the future.
Yeah, but sorry to keep pushing on this, but the reason that Cressida Dick stepped down, according to her, is that the Mayor of London did not have confidence in her. We hear from within the Mayor's office, from within City Hall, that he was not pleased with the plan that the Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police had come up with to put the Met's house in order. It was a failure on her part, according to the Mayor of London, rather than a breakdown in the relationship.
Well, I think initially the mayor had given her longer than she's had to get that plan in place. It was originally going to be weeks, and now, of course, it's come down to a very short space of time, a matter of days. And that's why I say it's a bit of a shame that that is the case. But I couldn't comment in any more detail as to the reason why the mayor has lost confidence. That's his position. You'd obviously have to ask him about that. Clearly, we have to look to the future now and make sure that the issues that affect public concern within the Met are addressed.